Hello friends, in this video I will be discussing the last minute tips to crack SBI Clerk Preliminary Examination 2019. So apart from that, I will be discussing the exam day strategy here so that you can clear this examination. So in which I will be discussing the different sections. So there will be three sections, particularly reasoning ability, numerical ability and English section. So I will be discussing all these three sections with you, how to deal with each section here. Okay. So friends, before we go ahead, let me tell you, if you want to buy a good quality mock test, you can buy it from ibpsguide.com. The link is given in the description. Okay. So as you all know, the SBI Clerk Prelims examination is scheduled to be held on 22nd and 23rd of June 2019. So the level of examination is expected to be easy to moderate. So to assist you on this, so I am sharing some exam day strategy along with important last minute tips for the SBI Clerk Prelim exams 2019. So friends, it is not important how much you have studied. So in order to crack the examination, you are required to have a proper test taking strategy so that you can utilize the time limit in an efficient manner. So out of the last minute tips, the first one is that comprehensive understanding of exam pattern. So before we go ahead with individual sections, first we need to be familiar with the pattern of SBI Clerk Prelims 2018. So to have a fair estimate of the questions, marks, timings, we need to, that need to be taken care well for the examination. So as you can see over the screen here, so there are three important sections in this exam. First one is English language, then numerical ability and reasoning ability. So from English language you will be having 30 questions for 30 marks. So for numerical ability you will be having 35 questions for 35 marks. So in reasoning ability you will be having 35 questions for 35 marks. So each of this section is having 20 minutes. So the maximum time you can utilize for each section is 20 minutes. So the total time is 1 hour. So 100 questions for 100 marks. So there is a sectional time limit of 20 minutes for each section in SBI Clerk preliminary examination is there. So there is no sectional cutoff. So you need to keep in mind. So no sectional cutoff is there. What does this mean? So see here. So each individual section will not be having a cutoff. Only overall cutoff will be there. Okay. So there is a negative marking of 0.25 marks for each wrong answer marked by you. So for that reason, you need to be very careful while marking the answer. If you are not sure, you just don't take a risk in the examination, friends. So this is the first tip. So look into our second tip. So read the instructions above the questions attentively. So see here, it is highly essential to read the instructions given above the questions. So because it is not important to solve the questions, friends. So do not start attempting the questions before going through the instructions given there. Okay. So it is observed that the pattern or the concept of the question does not change in the exam. The only change is the way of solving the question as per the given instructions. So that is why you need to see the given instructions very carefully. For example, let's say in syllogism question, if it is given that select the conclusion which does not follow. So select the conclusion which does not follow. So in the statement, and what normally students do is, so they miss out the word not here. Okay, so they miss out the word not in the instruction and they start solving the question. So what happens then? So all the efforts will be going in vain. Okay, so that is why you have to be very careful while solving the questions, that you need to study the instructions given above the questions. Okay. The third tip is that time management. So see here, in SBI Clerk preliminary exam, there is a sectional time limit. So time management is the key to success. Managing your time during exam exam very efficiently and smartly is required. So it is important to decide the time beforehand which you are going to spend on a particular question. Okay, especially in numerical ability and reasoning ability section, you must keep a track of time properly. You must decide the time you are going to spend on each question. So understand that you need not to solve tricky questions. Only, see, it is not important that you are supposed to solve all the tricky questions. Okay. So instead of this, make the most of the easy question, friends. So selecting the right questions in the exam is one of the important factors that leads to selection. So therefore, while selecting the question, you need to be very careful. So choose the right questions so that you can solve it in the less time. That is most important. The next tip is that plan test taking strategy beforehand in mind. So before appearing for the actual exam, make sure to have a clear-cut strategy in your mind regarding the exam, friends. So by now you must be acquainted with your strong and weak topics in all the sections. So a smart tip is that attempt those topics first in which you are strong. Score maximum marks through them and then solve the questions of your weaker section. So for example, let's say you're not good at arithmetics in quantitative aptitude. So, or in numerical ability, you're not good at, arithmetic questions, okay, or the word-based questions. So, in that case, what you are supposed to do, solve simplification first. Then, number series, if number series is there, you just solve number series. Then go ahead with data interpretation. Then, if you have time, you just go with arithmetic questions. So, don't jump into the tough questions first, okay. Just skip it, or you just mark for review and just go ahead, then solve those questions which are easy first. Then after that, if you have time, you just solve those questions which in which you are weak. Okay. The next one is that do not fetch negative marking. So accuracy plays a very big role in your selection, friends. So to increase your attempts in the exam, do not take the risk of negative marking. So keep your focus on attempting the questions with utmost accuracy. Do not apply guesswork if you are not confident enough about the answer. So don't make a guesswork here. So say no to guesswork. Okay. So say no to guesswork because you will be having negative marking of 0.25 for each wrong question. So therefore, you are not supposed to make a guesswork over here. So the next tip is that, so do not stuck into any question. So as a candidate, you will just have 20 minutes to attempt a section. This is very important to not stuck into any question, friends. If a question is taking much more time than it should usually take, then do not challenge yourself for the question, friends. There is equal marking for every question in the preliminary examination. If you are not able to solve any question within the standard time, you should better leave it and move on to the next question. So you must keep in mind that your main motive is to maximize your marks or maximize your marks smartly, friends. So that is why you need to keep in mind that do not stuck on to any question. So if you are not able to solve that particular question, you just go ahead. So the next tip is that, so do not panic in case of new pattern questions. So do not panic if you find any new pattern questions. Just attempt the questions which you can. If it is new, then it is new for everyone. It is not, you are not just you are not just given you are not just the sole person to whom these questions are given in new pattern. It is given to all the people. Okay, read the instructions and answer the questions carefully. Then solve it step by step by applying basic concepts of the topic. Still, if you are not able to solve, it is better to leave and solve the other question, friends. So these are the important tips which I wanted to give. So when it comes to the sectional strategy, so attempt the reasoning section in a smart manner. A candidate should not you are not supposed to start attempting the questions with puzzles and seating arrangement questions, friends. It is advisable to start reasoning sections with the topics which I will be telling, or the topics which consumes less time. Just like inequality. So inequality is easy one. You will be having direct questions there. Okay. So chances of getting direct questions. So for those questions you can get 5 marks very easily. So if syllogism is given, syllogism you can solve it very easily. So you will be given whole pattern only. If syllogism questions are given to you, you can solve it very easily. When it comes to coding and decoding, you will be getting the whole pattern of coding and decoding. That you can solve very easily. If it is given 3 marks or 5 marks, you can solve it very easily without taking much time there. When it comes to alphanumeric series or number series or alphabet series, so in that case also, so that will not be consuming much time, friends. So therefore, you can make it very easily. The next one is miscellaneous questions like order and ranking, blood relations, direction sense, and so on. So if these questions are given to you, so you can make it very easily. So that is why it is my advice always to go through these questions which I told you now. So after that, try. I mean, after you are done with these questions, so you can start attempting the puzzles and seating arrangement questions, because seating arrangement questions take much time in comparison to other questions. Also, there is no surety that you will definitely crack puzzles or seating arrangement even after spending 10-15 minutes on those questions. So therefore, it is the smart strategy is that follow these kind of strategies. Okay. And expected number of questions from different topics is, from inequality you may get 5 questions. So syllogism, if syllogism is asked, okay, normally syllogism will not be asked in clerical exam, that to preliminary exam. So if syllogism is asked, that will be asked for 3 to 5 marks. So if series questions are asked, that will be asked for 5 marks. So coding and decoding, if it is asked, it will be asked for 3 to 5 marks. When it comes to puzzles and seating arrangements, it can be 10, 15 or 20. It may go up to 20 as well. So blood relation can be 1 to 3 questions. So direction sense can be 1 to 3 questions, and eventually order and ranking questions can be 1 to 3 if it is asked. Okay. So make a correct strategy. After that, work according to it. Okay. The next section is quantitative aptitude. So to get a decent score in this section, you should try to attempt the questions in the sequence which I will be telling. So first try to attempt simplifications. So try to attempt simplification or approximation first. Okay, simplification and approximation first can be attempted. Then number series is there. Number series can be easily attempted. Then data interpretation. So data interpretation. So usually data interpretation will also be taking less time. Simplification and approximation. If simplification is asked for 10 marks, approximation would be asked for 5 marks. Number series should be there usually for 5 marks. Data interpretation, 2 sets should be there. So approximately 10 marks. So you'll be getting at least 20 to 25 minutes, so 25 marks or 30 marks from this section without doing these and that activities, friends. So after attempting this question, you can move to the miscellaneous question as per your remaining time for the section. Okay. Important arithmetic topics like averages, age-based question, percentage, ratio and proportion, profit and loss, discount, simple interest and compound interest, board and stream, etc. So those questions should be there. If you are interested, you just can. If you have time, then you can try it out, friends. When it comes to topic-wise expected number of questions, so number series would be 5. Simplification or approximation, it can be 5, 10 or 15. Data interpretation would be 5. Miscellaneous question can be either 10 or 15. We are not sure about it. Okay. And the last section is that English language. So attempt those questions first which you find easy and sure about the answer. Try to attempt this section in the sequence which I will be giving. Okay. Firstly, try to attempt error spotting. So first attempt error spotting. Okay. Then fill in the blanks. That is close test. So fill in the blanks is there, like single fill in the blanks or double fillings. Okay. After that, attempt close test. Then antonyms, synonyms from reading comprehension is there, so that you can attempt. So in the time, if the time allows, you can move ahead to the parajumbles if asked. So normally parajumbles would not be asked in preliminary examination of clerical exam. So if parajumble is asked, you will be asked a very easy questions. So you can attempt it, and reading comprehensions you can attend afterwards after attempting all these questions, friends. So in clerical exam you will be asked, there's a possibility of story-based reading comprehension. So then you should surely attempt it, because it is comparatively easy and it will be less time taking than economy, or based on percentages. Some questions should be there, right? So that kind of when we compare to those kind of questions, it is easy to attempt story-based reading comprehension, friends. And the topic-wise expected number of questions to attend for are, reading comprehension would be there 5 to 10. Fill in the blanks should be there, or double fillers should be there for 5 marks. So error spotting can be for 5 to 10 marks. Close test to usually be there 5, 7 or 10 marks. Idiom, phrases and phrase replacement would be there 5 marks, friends. Okay. So along with the strategies which I mentioned here, so you have to keep some important tips as well. So attempt some mock test in the meantime, so that you can devise your strategy. You can apply your strategy over there. So check which mistakes you must not repeat in the exam, friends. So as I've already mentioned that you can take up the mock test, good quality mock test from ibpsguide.com. Just take it from there and try to attempt the questions, because same exam level questions would be asked there. Okay. Believe in yourself and have faith in your capabilities. So attempt the exam with a cool and calm mind. So take proper sleep before the exam. So an attentive mind is most important factor during the examination. So don't get disturbed. So don't be panic. Do not reach the examination center on time to avoid the last minute hassles. And do not forget to take up your SBI Clerk admit card, original ID proof, as well as the photocopy of it and a photograph. Okay. So these are the important tips which I wanted to give. So your faith will lead you to your success. So all the best for your SBI Clerk Prelims examination, friends. So this is all I wanted to discuss with you. All the best, and if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe this channel as well. And don't forget to share this video with your friends as well. And if you have any doubts, please let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.